The air in Abidjan on May 21, 2025 felt heavy. Reports started to move through the city like a fast wind. People whispered about unusual movements. They spoke of soldiers more than usual, seen in certain parts of Abidjan. These were quiet words passed from one person to another in markets, in taxis, over phone calls. The city, usually alive with its vibrant energy, seemed to hold its breath for a moment, waiting. The stories grew with each telling. Some said they heard strange sounds like gunshots in different neighborhoods. It is hard to know what is true when fear begins to mix with fact. Was it a real threat? Or was it the power of suggestion? People started to call their families. They checked on their friends. The normal rhythm of the day felt disturbed, replaced by a quiet anxiety. For the ordinary people of Ivory Coast, these moments bring back memories. They remember times when political problems spilled onto the streets. The increased presence of military personnel, whether real or just strongly rumored, added to this feeling of unease. The day progressed with this cloud of uncertainty hanging over Abidjan. In our modern Africa, news does not wait for the evening broadcast or the morning paper. It travels at the speed of a click, a share, a forward. So, as whispers started in Abidjan, the internet quickly became a big echo chamber. Social media platforms, messaging apps, they all lit up with the news. Or perhaps with what people thought was news. Information, true or not, spread like wildfire from phone to phone. People shared what they heard, what they saw, and often what they feared. This digital world, while connecting us, can also make a small spark look like a huge fire very quickly. The fear was real. You could see it in the messages people posted. Is it true? What is happening in Abidjan? Pray for Ivory Coast. These were the kinds of messages that filled online spaces. Citizens expressed genuine worry about the possibility of unrest, of violence. They remembered past political crises, not just in Ivory Coast but in neighboring countries too. The idea of a coup d'état is a heavy one. It means a sudden, often forceful change in government. It means instability, and for many, instability means a threat to their daily lives, their safety, and their hopes for the future. As the online world buzzed with talk of unusual military movements and possible gunshots, the official voice of the Ivorian government remained quiet. For many hours, there were no big statements, no clear explanations. This silence in a time of high anxiety was like adding dry wood to a fire. It did not calm the fears. Instead, it allowed them to grow bigger, to spread wider. People started to ask more questions. Why are they not saying anything? Does their silence mean the rumors are true? This lack of immediate official communication had a significant impact on the public mood. When people are scared or uncertain, they look to their leaders for reassurance, for information. When that is missing, the imagination can run wild. Speculation filled the void left by the government's quiet. Some thought the government was perhaps caught by surprise. Others wondered if they were trying to control a situation behind the scenes before making it public. Section 4. Burkina Faso's Shadow, a recent plot uncovered. To understand the nervousness in Abidjan, we must also look at what has been happening in the neighborhood. Just a month before these Ivorian rumors in April 2025, a nearby country, Burkina Faso, announced it had stopped a coup plot. This was not just a small rumor, it was a serious claim made by the military government there. They said a major plot to overthrow their leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, was discovered and prevented. This news from Burkina Faso was still fresh in people's minds across West Africa. It showed that the region was indeed facing challenges to stability. The details from Burkina Faso were worrying. The plotters, according to the Burkinabe authorities, had planned to attack the presidential palace. Their aim was to create chaos in the country. They even wanted to try and put Burkina Faso under international supervision. Section 5. Pointing fingers. The Ivorian connection alleged. The story of the foiled coup in Burkina Faso took an even more complicated turn. The Burkinabe security minister, Mahamadou Sana, made a serious accusation. He said that the soldiers involved in the plot inside Burkina Faso were not working alone. He claimed they were working with terrorist leaders. And very importantly for our story, he stated that the whole plot was masterminded from Ivory Coast. This was a direct claim, pointing a finger at its southern neighbor. Such accusations between nations are never taken lightly, especially in a region already dealing with many tensions. The Burkinabe authorities even named 2 former army officers from their own country who they said were behind the plot. These 2 men, Major Joanny Kampar and Lieutenant Abdramain Barry, were reportedly living in Ivory Coast. This detail made the accusation more specific. It was not just a general claim about Ivory Coast. Section 6. Shifting Sands. Old Friends and New Alliances in West Africa. The recent events in Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso are not happening in a vacuum. They are part of a bigger story of changing relationships in West Africa. For a long time, countries in this region worked together through a group called ECOWAS, the Economic Community of West African States. But recently, things have changed. Burkina Faso, along with Mali and Niger, decided to leave ECOWAS in January 2025. These three countries, all run by military juntas that came to power through coups, have formed their own alliance. This has created a new dynamic, a kind of split, in the region. These Sahel countries, Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger, have also changed their international friends. They have moved closer to Russia. At the same time, they have cut many of their old ties with France, which used to be a very important partner for them. This is a big shift. It changes the balance of power and influence in West Africa. Ivory Coast, on the other hand, has maintained its closer relationships with France and other Western countries. Section 7. Understanding the ripples. Why these events matter for Africa. The whispers of a coup in Abidjan, the confirmed plot in Burkina Faso, and the accusations flying between them. These are not just local stories. They are like stones dropped into a pond, creating ripples that spread far and wide across West Africa, and indeed, the continent. Understanding these events is important because they tell us about the challenges of stability, governance, and regional cooperation that many African nations are facing today. They show us how interconnected our countries are, and how trouble in one place can easily affect others. When we look at these situations, we must remember the ordinary people. For them, political instability is not an abstract idea. It means fear for their families. It means disruption to their work and their children's schooling. It means a threat to the peace they need to build their lives. The Afro-conscious perspective reminds us to always center these human stories. The headlines might talk about juntas and alliances, but the real impact is felt in the homes and hearts of millions of Africans who long for security and progress. These events also highlight the ongoing search for true sovereignty and self-determination on the continent. The shifts in alliances, with some countries moving away from traditional Western partners and seeking new ones, are part of this larger quest. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe for more untold tales of Africa.